It's time for Picks for the People, presented by Caesars Sportsbook. We're going to start to dive into Michael F. Florio's player rankings as we go through the next few shows, getting you ready for the start of the regular fantasy season. Today, we're going to start with quarterbacks. So you've got your top 10. Just take us through them real quick.
Number one is this man right here, Josh Allen, who is just the absolute best. That's all there is to it. I mean, he's the best. There's no quarterback that have the same combination of running and throwing as this man right here. Number two is Justin Herbert, who I actually believe is the closest thing existing to Josh Allen. I think they just need to let him run more, and he could be pretty much what Allen is for fantasy purposes. This is when it gets a little spicy.
Okay.
At number three, I have Lamar Jackson because I still believe his upside is sky high due to the rushing ability, and he's been passing better in the last couple of years. At number four, Jalen Hurts, who last year was a guaranteed 20 points every week and now gets A.J. Brown in there, who could take like a quick little pass and take it 80 yards. Number five, Kyler Murray, who again has been a top 5 quarterback each of the last couple of years and now has Marquise Brown, who I believe is the best field stretcher receiver that Kyler's ever had. Number 6 is Patrick Mahomes, which I know a lot of people are going to be angry about, but my logic with that is he doesn't run like the 5 guys I have ahead of him. And in the regular season, he really doesn't run much at all. He saves it for the playoffs. So he could be great, but no Tyreek Hill, no running ability. At 7, I have Joe Burrow because he's awesome. The O-line has gotten even better, and you can make an argument that the weapons around him is the best in the NFL, I think. Number 8, your boy Marcus, Trey Lance. Because rushing ability, we keep talking about it. Quarterback is so deep that you might as well get someone that I think has top 5 upside. Trey Lance brings that because of his legs. Number 9, the GOAT, because he's the GOAT, Tom Brady, and he has a bunch of weapons around him as well. But I did knock him a little bit because of the offensive line issues. And at number 10, Russell Wilson, who him and Brady, I keep flipping back and forth. But Russell Wilson, we know, is still a highly efficient quarterback who has a great team around him now. The only concern I have with Russ is he going to run less than he has?
That's sort of been the knock on Russ, and that's, I think, the reason you've seen him fall down draft boards. But I want to circle back around to a couple of guys on this list here. Number 4, Jalen Hurts. The fantasy community has sort of gone nuts for Jalen Hurts, right? I mean, understandably, like you mentioned, last year he was a lock for 20 points a game, it felt like. And I know you pointed out multiple times, there were games where he'd enter the fourth quarter with like 9 points, and he'd figure out how to get the
truly think there was one game last year where late in the third, he had less than 1 point, and he scored 20.
And he still got to 20. I mean, that's kind of what it is. You, if I'm not mistaken, you have said you could see a scenario where he ends up as the QB1 this year, huh?
Yeah, I definitely think so because the Eagles didn't bring any running backs or anything like that, so I still think Jalen Hurts is their goal line runner. My concern with Josh Allen this year is he going to run less? So if Hurts could come anywhere close to his rushing numbers from last year, plus the added passing numbers, because I think he's just going to improve, plus the cast around him is so improved, that I definitely think there's an easy path for him to be the best quarterback.
So then we get to Patrick Mahomes at number 6, and I know you were aware that you're probably going to get a lot of hate from
Kimmy and all of
Kimmy checks from the state of Missouri as a whole. But there he is at number 6. You mentioned no Tyreek, less running. Is he potentially a draft value? I know it seems weird to say about a Patrick Mahomes, but could he end up maybe as a draft value at some point?
If more people thought like I do, I think he could, but he still usually goes in the top 3, and I understand why he's Patrick Mahomes. But I still believe that of non-quarterbacks, Tyreek Hill is the most influential player in football, and he just opened up so much. I think Mahomes will be fine in the sense of like top 5 is still in play, but I think of all the 5 quarterbacks I have ahead of him, their path to being the best quarterback in fantasy is easier than Mahomes'.
Yeah, it's weird. Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys who, you're right, he doesn't run the same way a Lamar, a Hurts, and Allen runs. He runs just enough, right? He's one of those guys who runs just enough to keep the defense honest. It's just enough for you to get, a few of those extra kind of cheat code points in fantasy football. We will see what losing Tyreek Hill means to this offense. But, man, I'll tell you what, playing in that AFC West, they're going to have to score a lot of points.
That is true.
Every single week. So that's definitely going to help. Trey Lance. This was a guy that coming into this draft season, I was really hoping I could draft Trey Lance the way I drafted Jalen Hurts last year, which was I'm going to get myself a good, solid kind of mid-round quarterback. Then I'll go back and I'll get Trey Lance later as sort of an insurance policy. I feel like that went out the window really, really quickly. maybe because I pay a lot more attention to 49ers reports, I feel like the reports about Trey Lance are so uneven. Like one day he looks amazing and everything's clicking. The next day he throws 3 picks. Any of that concern you?
A little bit, but part of my process is like I don't believe what anything Kyle Shanahan says because he has shown us over the years that he is just a pathological liar. My thing with Trey Lance is Jimmy G every year, if he wasn't 1, he was top 3 in yards, passing yards that come after the catch, meaning he would throw very short to Deebo Samuel or George Kittle or the running back, and they would just run with it after, and he gets all the fantasy points for that. I think Trey Lance will be able to do that. I don't think they'll ask a whole lot of him. But then you add in the fact that he is like a Jalen Hurts when it comes to running the football. Plus, he has an absolute cannon of an arm, so we could see more deep throws in this offense than we ever have before. I think the upside is top 5, and I'm not going to say he's going to be the best quarterback in fantasy, but there's a non-zero chance that he's the best fantasy quarterback in fantasy this year.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's funny too because I was so happy to be able to get Trey Lance at some point in like the 9th round, the 10th round. I feel like that's done. It's been done for a while.
I feel like I like a lot of my drafts so far have been with other people who do this every day like we do.
Right.
I feel like when like we do our home league drafts or something like that, like he might go like he probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes behind like Brady or Wilson or anything like that.
I want to say that, but my home league involves a bunch of 49ers
Oh,
fans.
yeah, you
So
got no
there's no
chance.
chance that he's gonna, there's 0 chance he's going to go late.
It's
in
day
my
like
home league.
254 since
Yeah, something like that. In fact, we've given up the count. We've given up the count on days since Jimmy Garoppolo threw a heartbreaking interception in the NFC Championship game. Now my text chain is just hoping that he gets traded somewhere. They don't even really care where. That's all it is. So we asked for a sleeper quarterback, and when I saw this, it absolutely warmed my heart. I love that you picked Tua Tagovailoa as your sleeper quarterback. I love this.
he is the quarterback that I want on most of my teams this year. Like, because I love where he goes. I think he brings a lot of upside, but you get him purely as a second quarterback because he goes after Rodgers, after these 10 plus Rodgers, Carr, Cousins. Like, you could get him at like QB 13 through like 16, no problem. And my thing with Tua keeps being like, everyone has Tyreek Hill as a top 10 wide receiver. Everyone except for me, I think most people have Jalen Waddle as a top 20 receiver. So why are we not high on Tua Tagovailoa, who I view it as, to get those receivers, you got to use an early round pick. You take on a lot of risk. To get Tua, he's purely a reserve guy that you're getting in the double-digit rounds, and you get Tyreek and Waddle and everyone else's production baked into his. And I keep saying it on Twitter, but man, every day it comes out that he's throwing a nice deep ball to Tyreek Hill. And I'm like, this guy was a good deep ball thrower. It's just they haven't asked him to do it much. And I know, quoted all the time, like he was good at that in college.
I keep saying our introduction to Tua Tagovailoa was him coming in for Jalen Hurts, actually, at Alabama, and winning a national championship by throwing a deep ball to Devontae Smith. Look at me just throwing out all these like fantasy, like hipster darling guys now, right? I mean, it's like Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa, which I guess shout out to Nick Saban for making our fantasy lives better. But that's how we were introduced to Tua, was him throwing a deep ball. His first year was coming off of a major hip injury. It's them building around him. They have given him pieces. So I'm with you 100% on this. I feel like Tua is ready for good things this year. I think you can draft him as sort of a nice streaming option, a fringe QB1. And if he really does hit the way we think he can hit, by the way, this also fits in, though, with your Tyreek Hill narrative, too, about him being one of the most important non-quarterback pieces. If you believe he's going to take away from Patrick Mahomes, then by transference, he should add something to Tua Tagovailoa. So.
I saw it firsthand. Sorry, Parker, you want to cover your ears here. Tyreek Hill literally took like a 10-yard slant route and took it the distance, and no one on the defense could catch up to him. That's what he can do for Tua. Plus, he can open up stuff near. So, like, if you're worried about 20, 30 yards downfield, well, then, all right, Chase Edmonds is wide open right here for a little catch and run. Or maybe Tua starts running again like he did in college.
Maybe he starts running again. Who knows? That would be great. So if we're looking at sleepers, we got to look at for a quarterback to avoid. I would say this is spicy, but I feel like a lot of folks in fantasy sort of have this take. Aaron Rodgers, a guy that maybe to stay away from right now.
It's pretty wild that where I have Aaron Rodgers ranked is higher than his number, which I don't know if that's been the case in fantasy in a very long time. I believe he's my QB 13. This guy is awesome, and we all know that, but he doesn't run it all. And the last couple of years, he's relied on like uber efficiency. Like his touchdown percentage the last 2 years mirrors his career best. Like 2 years ago was his career best, and then this year was tied for his third best. So I think with Devontae Adams gone and a receiving room of a bunch of is this guy even good?
Right.
Like I think his efficiency is going to come down. I think we're going to see Green Bay run the ball a lot more than they have in recent years. So I just don't think he's going to have the volume to come anywhere close to what he's done the last two.
I think that's sort of it. I also wonder about, his like the average depth of target, the air yards this year, when he's saying things like Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon are going to catch a lot of passes. That's great for those individual players. That's great for Aaron Rodgers, probably from a completion percentage standpoint. Those don't necessarily make me think there's a lot of downfield throws coming. Maybe they use a guy like Romeo Doubs to stretch the field. Maybe they use Allen Lazard to stretch the field. But this feels like a lot of really efficient throws coming from Rodgers. And you really are leaning on him to get you close to 5,000 passing yards. You're going to need that really ridiculous touchdown to interception ratio, those 40 to 5 type ratios. If there's anybody who could do it, Aaron Rodgers is the guy that can do it. That seems like a tough way to live. On a
and kudos to him. He found himself this offseason. He seems to be in a much better place. It just won't be on my fantasy team.
Oh, man. Traipsing through the jungles of South America or whatever it was that he was doing to go on his spirit quest. We'll see what that means for fair Aaron Rodgers when it comes to fantasy. We will stop for a moment, and we will catch our breaths, and we'll get back into our look at the NFC South with the Atlanta Falcons coming up next. So stay tuned for more of the NFL Fantasy Football Show.